Hey everyone, happy end of the semester. For this week's post, I'm just going to jump right into collateral consequences and Casmine's paper on desistance. This topic was super eye-opening for me, so let's just get into that. For the first question, yeah, I definitely think it is a huge problem that convicted felons face all of these hidden, invisible punishments, even after serving their time. If you think about it, when somebody finishes their prison sentence, or completes probation, they technically pay their debt to society, right? But then in reality, they're hit with all these state and federal bans. They can't vote, serve on a jury, get public assistance like SNAP benefits, or even get basic occupational licenses. To me, that doesn't make sense. If our goal is actually public safety, how can we expect someone to successfully re-enter society if we literally take away their ability to feed themselves or get a decent job? David Pager's study already shows how tough it is to get hired with a criminal record just from employer stigma alone. Adding state-mandated legal bans on top of that just feels like setting people up to fail, because it is. Moving on to Casmine's article. So when she talked about how correctional programs need to focus on building and keeping up an inmates' motivation and hope, my initial reaction was yeah, exactly. Hope sounds a little vague or soft at first, but the research that does back it up. You can't change your life if you don't actually believe you have a future. And desistance is all about that identity shift where you believe you can be productive, like a productive person outside of a crime. If I had to imagine what a program built on hope looks like in real life, I immediately thought of the Oklahoma RICCT program, but expanded. It would feature real mentorship from formerly incarcerated people who've successfully rebuilt their lives, starting mental health treatment and job training 6 to 12 months before release, and continuing that support after they get out just so they aren't left hanging. Ultimately, it's about treating people, like human beings, with potential rather than just a list of risk factors to monitor. Looking back on everything we've learned this term, my biggest takeaway is that the justice system is an absolute mess. Incarcerated people, or incarceration, doesn't just affect the individual. It spills over into whole families and communities. And before taking this class, I kind of viewed criminal justice in a vacuum, just like the offender and the state. But learning that over 1 million kids currently have a parent in prison and seeing how that leads to higher rates of depression, struggling in school, and health issues, it completely changes how I view the system, which I already knew it was a mess, but this really shows that. The consequences don't stop at the prison gate. Yeah, that's kind of my breakdown. And I guess to wrap things up, my question for you all, since desistance is a slow process that usually involves a few setbacks along the way, kind of like recovering from an addiction, how do you think our justice system should handle slip-ups without immediately tossing people back into prison? Let me know in your replies.